how Prthu Maharaj, having ruled the kingdom for sufficient amount of time, having understood now it is the time to go back home back to Godhead, he made his son as the next king, and then taking to Vanaprastha order, he went to forest. So what is the reason why he went to forest? The reason is in the third verse it is mentioned that Prthu Maharaj was thinking, so मैं तो भक्ति नहीं किया, I have not done good amount of bhakti, so the Lord will not take me to spiritual world. The Lord will not bring me to his side for service because I have not done that much worship and have not been fully purified. So he was thinking that I have not done enough bhakti, I am not enough purified. So I need to do some serious bhakti, I need to purify myself. For which this I cannot do here. I should go to forest. I'll take to Vanaprastha and go to forest and perform Vanaprastha duties very seriously, very sincerely, by which I will purify myself and I also perform serious bhakti, by which the Lord will become compassionate upon me to take me to his side and give me his service. Because his desire was to serve him like Mother Lakshmi serves him always. Personal seva I want to do. So he was so eager to go to spiritual world and do that. For that, immediately he took Vanaprastha and went to Vanaprastha ashram forest. And there he began to perform serious austerities, not some ashamashi ordinary austerities. He underwent severe austerities according to the rules of Vanaprastha. See, in Vanaprastha, recently we were discussing on Saturday, we were discussing seventh canto. Seventh canto says a Vanaprastha should take a vow that for 12 years I'll follow these rules. The Vanaprastha maximum allow time is for 12 years. For 12 years they need to follow that vrata. If somebody cannot follow 12 years, they should follow 10 years. If not 8 years, if not 6, if not 4, but minimum 2 years. Anybody who want to enter into Vanaprastha order, at least they should follow 2 years. Strict rules. What is that? They should not have a home. First of all, no home, no cooking. Subsisting on what is available in the forest, and that too not plucking from the trees. For example, fruit trees are there, one should not pluck from the tree. Whatever fruits fell upon them themselves, only those fruits should be taken. And the grains also should not be plucked from the plants. If they fell down on the ground, then lift those grains and eat it without cooking, raw grains. And some roots, when the plant becomes dried up, then you can remove the root and then eat the root, something like that. So very serious. This is on one side. And one should not have a home, one should stay underneath a tree or inside some gufa if it's available, so like that. And that is okay. So one may say okay, at least some gufa is there, some cave is there, one can survive once it's there. So then, of course, eating only roots like radish and fruits, sometimes ate only dry leaves. Like Dhruva Maharaj performed tapasya 6 months. First month eating berries once in 3 days. Second month eating dry leaves once in 6 days. Third month eating drinking water once in 9 days. And fourth month drinking water once in 12 days. Fifth month only breathing once in 15 days. Sixth month even not even breathe that. So like that, he said, I'll follow in the footsteps of my ancestor Dhruva and quickly have the audience of the Supreme Lord. So he also followed same thing. So first month he ate only roots. Second month dry leaves. Third month only water, and fourth month only air. From there on, no eating, no drinking water, no eating food. So that is the kind of austerities he is following. This is like the topmost austerities one can follow. We eat 3 times a day. So Vanaprastha may supposed to eat only one time a day. Here eating once in a month. Even finally eat no eating only breathing. That kind of severe austerities. That is also okay. इसको ऊपर क्या है? In summer, he would sit underneath the sun, keeping 4 fires in 4 directions: east, west, north, south, 4 huge fires above sun. In winter, during monsoon, in the rains only, outside only, not living in the gufa. Stay outside, exposed to the rains. In the winter itself is unbearable, and going into the water, Himalayan cold water, and drowning oneself up to the neck. So, and always slept on the bare floor. He was a king. He had all the opulences. He might be sleeping on the silken beds, but now he's sleeping on the bare floor. So that kind of austerities he was following. Why? He was so eager to go back home, back to Godhead as early as possible. So being tolerant, controlling words and senses, controlling sexual impulse and his life airs. His only desire being to worship Krishna. He performed the highest austerities. He performed the topmost austerities. इससे ऊपर और कुछ नहीं होगा. In the वानप्रस्थ order, इससे ऊपर और toughest austerity और कुछ नहीं होगा. That kind of austerities he was following. Why? He was desiring to worship Lord Krishna directly in the spiritual world. I will do these austerities. This was his vow. I will do whatever is required so that I will go to spiritual world and serve Krishna in person. Serve Lord in person. That was the reason. Because the desire is so strong, he was willing to undergo any severe austerities to get out of this place. So then he continuously meditated on the lotus feet of Supreme Lord as instructed by Sanat Kumara. Whatever Sanat Kumara told. So by doing all these things, by following the Adhyatmika Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, which Sanat Kumara mentioned in the last two verses, he kind of became freed from bodily conditioning. Of course, he is already an incarnation of the Lord. He is doing all these things to teach us how to do all these things. But in any case, treating him as a sadhaka, here Bhagavatam says, he has given a bodily attachment. He has become self-realized. He cuts the bondage to the material world. No more attachment for this material world. So that is the kind of tapasya he was doing. So I think this is where we stopped last week, and today we'll continue from text number 11 onwards. Constantly endeavoring with faith, dedicated to the Lord, Prthu performed pure bhakti to the Supreme Lord alone. Ananya Vishaya. Alone means without any second thought. His only desire is to go back to God and serve the Lord just like Mother Lakshmi serves him constantly. That was his desire. His desire is so strong, his eagerness is so strong, he is ready to go through the topmost austerities of Vanaprastha system. So that is the kind of thing is. He want to glorify Vanaprastha because he being a Grahastha, he glorified Grahastha ashram. Now being a Vanaprastha, he want to glorify Vanaprastha ashram also. That's why he is performing the topmost austerities a Vanaprastha can perform. Now, as a result of that, he already cut the attachment to material body and material world. Now, what else happened? Now, in few verses, until 18, I think, suppose, Prthu Maharaj gives up his body and went to spiritual world. So these 18 verses talks about how Prthu Maharaj gives up his body and goes back to Godhead. That is described. So he takes the help of Ashtanga Yoga. His process of going back to Godhead is called as Yoga Mishra Bhakti. Just like in the first canto, at the end, Parikshit Maharaj asks, what a person supposed to do throughout one's life to attain the highest perfection, especially for a person like me who is about to die. Then Sukadeva Goswami gives two options. One option is anyway Bhakti. Second option is Yoga Mishra Bhakti or Bhakti Mishra Yoga, whatever. If somebody want to attain Sahaja, do Bhakti Mishra Yoga. Somebody want to go to spiritual world, do either Yoga Mishra Bhakti or Ananya Bhakti. Because that yoga process enables one to give up the body voluntarily. It helps one to give up the body just like that. Instead of waiting till the natural death, one can give up one's body, taking the help of Shat Chakra Yoga. That Prthu Maharaj takes the help here. Because he was so eager to go back, he does not want to wait for natural death. So in that way, he is indicating to all of us that one should be eager to go back, come back to Godhead and serve the Lord in person. So in that way. So let us see how did he give up his mortal world. तस्यान्य भगवता परिकर्म शुद्धा
तस्यान्य भगवता परिकर्म शुद्धा
सत्त्वात्मनस्तदनुस्मरणानुपूर्त्या
तत्त्वात्मनस्तद् अनुस्मरणानुपूर्त्या
ज्ञानं विरक्तिमदभून् निशितेन येन
ज्ञानं विरक्तिमद् अबुन्निशितेन येन
चिच्चेद संयतपदं निजजीवकोशम्
चिच्चेद समस्य पदं निजजीवकोशम्. Translation. By regularly discharging devotional service, Prthu Maharaj became transcendental in mind and could therefore constantly think of the lotus feet of the Lord. Because of this, he became completely detached and attained perfect knowledge by which he could transcend all doubt. Thus, he was freed from the clutches of false ego and the material conception of life.
See, by bhakti, filled with continual remembrance of the Lord, Bhagavata Anusmarana Anupurtya, not superficially, Purtya, completely and continuously, Anupurtya, completely and continuously, Anusmarana, continuous remembrance of the Supreme Lord. Prthu, his mind becoming Shuddha Sattva by such devotional service, developed intense jnana endowed with detachment, by which he destroyed the subtle body, which was a cause of doubt for Prthu. If you remember first canto second chapter, there for the question asked by the sages of Namisharanya, what is the most beneficial thing for all people, practicing which oneself is completely satisfied? That was the question. Answer is अतः सवै पुंसा परो धर्म यतो भक्ति रदोक्षजे अहेतुकी अप्रतिहता यात्मा सुप्रसिद्धति. Sadhana bhakti that will ultimately lead to prema bhakti is the most beneficial thing for each and everyone. So how that happens? How sadhana bhakti will take one to prema bhakti? Vasudeve bhagavati bhakti yoga prayojita janayati ashu vairagyam jnanam chayad ahetukam. If one performs bhakti unto Lord Vasudeva, Sri Krishna Vasudeva, automatically the knowledge about the Supreme Lord and detachment from this material world will appear. ये दोनों अपने आप जागृत हो जाएगा भक्ति करने से. Just like bhakti para isha anubhava virakti. When somebody practices bhakti seriously, there is paraisha anubhava, experience of the Supreme Lord, theoretically and practically in due course of time. First, there is theoretical understanding of Supreme Lord, then eventually there is practical realization of Supreme Lord. This is on one side. On the other side, there is complete detachment from this material world, virakti. No more attachment to this material world will take place. If one seriously practice bhakti, these two will automatically will come, whether one want or not. वो दोनों अपने आप जागृत हो जाएगा. Same way for Prthu Maharaj, since he was practicing serious bhakti and severe bhakti as instructed by the four Kumaras, he was endowed with intense jnana and detachment. Virakti and jnanam, both of them on their own appeared. So by the appearance of the jnana, knowledge of Supreme Lord, by Lord's realization, and also by the appearance of detachment from this material world, he destroyed his subtle body. That destroyed means he did not destroy it literally, but he lost attachment to the subtle body. He does not have any more attachment to subtle body or gross body or the material world. वो पूरा निकल गया. That means if you don't have attachment means it is as good as detached, destroyed. So ही हो गया. So that is what happened. But there is a doubt in the sense, see, Prthu Maharaj himself is an expansion of Supreme Lord. He is an expansion of Lord Vishnu. He is as good as Lord Vishnu only. Why does he has gross body, subtle body? He does not have gross body, subtle body. But he has a doubt that I am doing so much intense austerity, but I am not able to see the Lord till now. Why? I am not getting darshan of the Lord. Why? Like that. That is the doubt. So that will be addressed in the future verses. Narada Pancharatra says, all the siddhis headed by liberation and all astonishing material pleasures follow after the great goddess of Hari Bhakti, like fearful maid servants. So when one practices bhakti, the mukti and shadashwarya, ashtasiddhis, all these devis on their own come and stand in front of a devotee saying that we are all your servants, utilize us the way you want. So that is the case. So here is a verse from Hari Bhakti um, philosophy, suppose. Hari Bhakti Mahadevya Sarva Mukti Adi Siddhaya Bhuktyas Chadbhuta Tasyas Chetikavad Anuvrataha. So this verse says, though the devotee practicing pure bhakti, though the devotee does not want any one of them, though in spite of that, even though the devotee does not want, in spite of them on their own, so Brahma Vidya, the impersonal jnana, and the eight siddhis of yoga, their personified forms appear before the devotee and say, we have been sent by the Lord for your service. Please accept us. So the Mukti Devi, Ashtasiddhi Devis, they will come and stood in front of him. So आपको मुक्ति चाहिए ले लो, आपको अष्टसिद्धि चाहिए ले लो. They are eager to serve that devotee. But if he is a devotee, will never take them. If such a person is not a devotee, such a person may be mesmerized by such kind of opulences. But a devotee never wants impersonal liberation or Ashtasiddhis. So here we can see what is the mindset of Prthu Maharaj. King Pruthu's mind became Shuddha Sattva by service to Supreme Lord, because he was doing continuous devotional service. By that bhakti, jnana endowed with detachment appeared on their own. What was that bhakti? It was filled with the remembrance of the Lord at every moment. Anu Smaranad. Continuously he was remembering the Supreme Lord. Even though the person practices Shuddha Bhakti, like Chataka bird, tastes the sweetness of Bhakti alone and does not accept Brahma Vidya, though it comes to him on its own. The destruction of the subtle body, a result of Brahma Vidya, takes place by Bhakti alone without seeking it. So, when one practices Bhakti, the Brahma Vidya and Vairagya, they will come. Not only the result of Brahma Vidya is moksha, Sahyajya Mukti, and the result of Vairagya is Ashtasiddhis. They will come and the results also will come. But a devotee will not accept them generally. A devotee does not understand that because it is by Bhakti alone one will come back to Godhead. So he had that complete understanding and then he will wait for that. So same thing Prthu Maharaja also doing it. It has been said, Jarayati Ashuya Kosham Nigirana Manaloyata. Bhakti quickly destroys the subtle body, just as the digestive fire consumes food. So when we eat food, slowly that gets digested. Some people have more fire, they get digested fast. Some people have moderate fire, they will take a little more time. Some people will have less fire, they will take much more time. That means just like digestive fire digests the food, whatever we ate, on its own accord. Just as a person sometimes takes medicine to help quickly digest food, even though the digestive fire will digest the food. King Pruthu, being anxious to attain direct service to the Lord in his abode and unable to tolerate the delay, performed Brahma Vidya Ashtanga Yoga to destroy the subtle body. Just like
Hare Krishna, can't hear you, Prabhuji. You are not audible. Haribol, am I audible?
Yeah, there's no
Yes, Mataji,
sound
you are
coming,
audible.
but
Okay,
no
okay.
sound
Prabhuji is not audible, na?
Yes, yes.
Not audible at all.
Hare
Okay,
Krishna,
okay.
now you are able to hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Okay, okay. Some internet issue. Okay. So, Bhagavatam third canto says, Jarayati Ashuya Kosham Nigirnam Analoyata. Just like whatever we eat, the digestive fire eventually dies it completely. For some, the Agni might be good, so they'll digest fastly. For some, it is medium, they'll take little more time. For some, it is very weak, they will take much more time. So, but digest, it does not mean that the digest will not digest. It may take more time. Similarly, when we practice bhakti, one will go to spiritual world immediately. One will take little more time, and some people will take long time. But definitely, one will go to spiritual world. But Prthu is not willing to wait for a long time. He want to go as early as possible. Just like when there is Manda Agni, we go to Ayurveda doctor, he will give some medicine to improve the Jataragni. Same way, he had taken shelter of Ashtanga Yoga, by which he can quickly go back home back to Godhead. So he knew anyway Bhakti will take me to spiritual world, but that may take more time because I am not a first class devotee to go quickly. That's what his thought process. So in order to go quickly, he took the shelter of Ashtanga Yoga, so that he can voluntarily give up the body instead of waiting for the natural death and go back to Godhead as early as possible. By that very sharp jnana, he cuts the subtle body or covering, a source of doubt. Because as long as we have the subtle body, we cannot be liberated. The gross body we may give up time and again. Every life we give up gross body. But subtle body is always accompanying us as long as we are in the material world. Unless until we give up the subtle body, we cannot go beyond this material world. So that's why he has taken shelter of that Brahma Vidya, Jnana Yoga and Ashtanga Yoga to give up the subtle body so that he can attain liberation as early as possible. King Pruthu's doubt was, I have not seen the Lord directly by my bhakti. Do I have a subtle body or not? Because the normal understanding is that as soon as subtle body is destroyed, one will attain liberation. I am practicing bhakti for so long, अभी तक भगवान को देखा नहीं मैंने. क्या चल रहा है मेरा subtle body कब destroy होगा? Looks like it is taking more time. I should do it fast. I cannot wait anymore. That was his eagerness. Actually, King Pruthu did not have any subtle body because he was an avatar of the Supreme Lord. Since he is an expansion of Lord Vishnu, how can he have subtle body? His body is made up of Satchidananda. So how when he does not have subtle body, how can he destroy the subtle body? But from Tattva point of view, he is the avatar of the Lord. From practical point of view, he is acting like a human being like all of us. He is also performing sadhana like all of us. So he want to establish a proper example of how to follow sadhana, how to practice sadhana. So that's why he was thinking, I need to destroy my subtle body. How it is, how I can do? I can do bhakti is taking a lot of time. I will take the help of Ashtanga Yoga. I'll give it up and attain liberation so that I can go back to Godhead quickly as early as possible. So here couple of verses indicate that Prthu is indeed expansion of Supreme Lord Vishnu only. He is not a Sadharan Jiva, but he is Lord's expansion only. These two verses, in first verse, Vidura is asking question. In the second verse, Lord Vishnu is telling, you should not show anger to Indra, since he is non-different from you. Good fortune to both of you, who are forms of the Supreme Lord. Ubhavapihi Badrante, Uttama Shloka Vigraha. Both of you are Uttama Shloka Vigraha. Both of you are a manifestation of Uttama Shloka, the Lord Vishnu. The Indra is Lord Yajna and the king is Prthu. Both of them are Lord's expansion only. So आप दोनों के बीच में झगड़ा क्यों? So like that, Lord Vishnu was saying. King Prithu's desire to give up his body by yoga is only showing the greatness of his devotion, in which He thinks of himself as an ordinary person. Because he was so eager to go back to Godhead, he wanted to take the help of Ashtanga Yoga to quickly give up the body. That was the point. Mention of giving up his body is only for letting the materialists preserve their mentality. So Prthu is eager to give up his subtle body. Why? He wants to teach the people in general in this world that everyone should be eager to give up their subtle body and go back to Godhead, whether one want to attain Sahajya Mukti or Vaikuntha Mukti. But one should give up subtle body. That is default. So in order to teach one and all, because he's a king has to teach one and all, everyone. So you want to teach, acting like them. So in that way. This appearance is handled by Maya. In the case of both the avatars and the devotees. Among the forms of the Lord Rama does not give up his body. How? Whenever Lord appears in this world in various avatars, how Lord departs? Narsingadev appeared from a pillar and disappeared. And Lord Rama appeared as a normal human being only. But he disappeared by entering into the water. He did not leave behind any mortal body. And similarly, Lord's devotee Dhruva, he also did not leave behind any mortal body. With his self-same body, he entered into Vaikuntha Vimana and went to the abode of Lord Vishnu. These examples indicate the truth of all forms of the Lord and perfected devotees. This conclusion is given for the devotees. For devotees, they should understand that when one practices bhakti, the body of the devotee completely transforms into spiritual. And with that spiritual form, they will go back to God at the self-same form. And in the case of Lord's avatars also, all avatars went back in the self-same form. But only one avatar, Lord Krishna, left behind a body. That is to start Kali Yuga. When Yudhishthira Maharaj was ruling the last 36 years, the entire rule was much better than Satya Yuga. The opulences were much better than Satya Yuga. Now, a situation that is better than Satya Yuga should come down to Kali Yuga. How that will be possible? Lord thought about it for a while. Then he did two things. He introduced a kind of illusory war among the Yadavas. The Yadavas fought among themselves. That actually did not happen really. Lord only made a illusory vision, which was conceived by Vyasa and other sages, and they reported in the Puranas and Mahabharata, etc. As a result, other people read, hear, accept it as a truth, and they believe like that. That is for the people, materialistic people. But otherwise, the Yadavas did not fought among themselves. Second thing, Lord Krishna also left behind his body. One body. That is just to show to the materialists that अभी देखो आप लोग कृष्णा भगवान भगवान बोलते, भगवान ने तो शरीर क्यों छोड़ा? So like that. So by offending the Supreme Lord or by offending the devotees, what kind of devotees are they? They ate food and drank wine and killed each other. इतना मदमत हो गया. Just by offending the devotees and offending the Lord, they gave vent to Kali Yuga. It suddenly fell from the Satya Yuga to Kali Yuga. Topmost of Satya Yuga to Kali Yuga. So Lord left behind his body. But otherwise, Lord never leaves behind his mortal body. Any avatar you take. And any pure devotee also does not leave behind their mortal bodies. Even if they leave behind their mortal body, that is to keep the secrecy of bhakti intact. So that ordinary people can consider, क्या भक्ति है? भक्ति भक्ति बोलते हैं, अब आप भक्ति भी मर जाते हैं, हम भी मर जाते हैं, उसमें क्या बड़ी बात है? उसके बाद क्या होगा, कौन देखा? So like that. Because people want some miracle. When there is some miracle, they accept the miracle. If something is happening, usually they will not accept it. So Lord also want bhakti to be like that only. Bhakti should be considered as one
Prabhuji,
among
no
other things.
voice is coming.
Okay.
But voice is clear, Prabhuji.
Very low, very low.
Voice is clear and nice only. Good sound
Ah.
is there. No problem at
Very good sound, Prabhuji.
Okay, okay.
Voice is clear.
No issue. No issue.
all. Internet कुछ problem होगा.
Mataji, kindly check. Yeah. So
Very low.
it is like that. But in general, Bhakti had the potency to take the devotee as he is within the self-same body. They don't have to give up the mortal coil. But in order to keep the super special potency of Bhakti and for outsiders to make Bhakti appears to be any other usual thing, it will not happen always. Even though somebody lives behind material body, what happens? Spiritual form will be made and they'll go to the spiritual world. That is important. Going to spiritual world is important. Whether they live behind a material body or not, that is not so much important. But materialistic people, they only look for miracles. So when there are no miracles, they consider these things to be ordinary. So like that. So that is what Lord want. Lord want to keep it secret. Raja Vidya, Rajaguyam. He does not want Bhakti to be like cheap. It should be remained as Rajaguhyam, the topmost secret. So same way, of course, it will remain like that. But Prthu Maharaj, his eagerness is so much, he does not want to wait anymore. तो जल्दी जितना जल्दी हो सकता है उतना जल्दी जाने के लिए he will be taking the help of Ashtanga Yoga to quickly give up his body and go back to Godhead. So that will be continued now. Hare Krishna, you are able to follow? All of you are any questions?
Yes, Prabhuji. Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji, following.
Okay.
Prabhuji, one question is there.
Hmm.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Prabhuji, Prthu Maharaj is a वो तो भगवान का अवतार है.
Hmm.
But any other person than that, only eagerness can't be the criteria to enter into the spiritual world. You have to have Ananya Bhakti, no?
Of course, when there is Ananya Bhakti, that time only eagerness will be there, na? Just eagerness will not help.
But
along with eagerness, we need to work hard also. That's why Prthu is working very hard. That's what we are discussing now. What kind of austerities he was performing?
Yeah.
Since he is in
But means-
Vanaprastha order, he is
Hmm.
performing the topmost austerities of Vanaprastha order, so that he can go back to Godhead quickly.
अच्छा.
Just
Hare
by
Krishna,
eagerness,
Prabhuji.
just having eagerness does not help. One should have eagerness. Along with that, one should also perform strong sadhana, strong efforts also. Both are required.
And in what Bhakti Rasamrut Sindhu we saw that gradually your heart becomes soft and all that things. Matlab that also has some shortcut, right?
No,
Matlab-
there are no shortcuts. See one thing. Anyway, one need to perform 100 units of effort. So just understand like this. In order to go back to Godhead, the effort required is 100 units. Whether one executes 100 units over one day, or 1 year, or 100 years. If one day you can perform 100 units of work, or 10 days you perform 10 units of work each day, or 100 days you perform 1 unit of each day, or 1000 days you perform every day 0.1 units. So like that, we can take an example like that, we can say.
Okay, Prabhuji.
I mean, I'm not sure whether this example will help us understand, but this is how we can see.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी.
Yes, Mataji.
प्रभु जी, आपने जैसे कहा कि भगवान ने अष्टांग योग की पद्धति अपनाई, जबकि भक्ति योग इजी है. एंड पृथ्वी महाराज बताना चाहते थे कि कैसे हम भगवान को प्राप्त कर सकते हैं. तो अष्टांग योग उन्होंने क्यों एक्सेप्ट किया? बट इट इज अ डिफिकल्ट टास्क, राइट? और हमारे लिए तो पॉसिबल है ही नहीं.
It's not like that. It's not neither difficult nor like that. Quickly, see one thing. You are practicing bhakti, death will come on its own. You have to wait for the death. Second thing is, there is a method of giving up the body immediately. It is not Atmahatya. It is Ashtanga Yoga, by which you can raise prana from Mooladhara Chakra to Ajna Chakra and then give up this body and enter into spiritual world. आपको क्यों वेट करने का? अब तुरंत जाने तो जाओ ना. तुरंत जाने का ये मार्ग है.
यानी आप अष्टांग योग में हम अपने मन से ऊपर हम जा सकते हैं, भक्ति योग में भगवान की कृपा से जा सकते हैं.
See, Ashtanga Yoga in one set is a process of giving up the body. But the Jnanis follow Ashtanga Yoga to attain Sahajya Mukti by giving up the body as early, immediately. जब वन का मन में वैराग्य आ गया, now I don't want to stay anymore here. So take the help of Ashtanga Yoga, give up the body and go to Brahma Jyoti. And the devotees, very rarely they take shelter of. Even Bhishma Dev also took the shelter of Ashtanga Yoga. He waited till Makar Sankranti came. He was speaking to Yudhishthira Maharaj for a month. Then, looking at Lord Krishna offering wonderful prayers, he employed Ashtanga Yoga Siddhi, raising the prana from Mooladhara Chakra all the way up to Ajna Chakra, then Sahasrara Chakra, giving up the body, entered into spiritual world.
Okay.
It is a process of giving up the body instantly. That's why Sukadeva Goswami also says, those people who have 7 days, they can take the help of Yoga Mishra Bhakti or Bhakti Mishra Yoga. Along with Bhakti, but Ashtanga Yoga will help you give up the body 7 days.
Okay.
You don't have to wait for years together.
Prabhuji,
If-
I got it. What is the confusion, you know?
Ah.
Even Dhritarashtra gave up the body like with the help of.
Same way. He also practiced Ashtanga Yoga, introduced invoked fire. That fire burns his gross mortal body.
So he was not a bhakta, no?
He was not Bhakta, but he was like Dhira. He is like Yogi. He attained Sayuja.
And the goal of Ashtanga Yoga is Paramatma, to see Paramatma in your heart, no?
No, that is sadhana. The goal is to attain Sayuja Mukti. In general, majority of people, more than 90% of people who are practicing Ashtanga Yoga, they want to attain Sayuja Mukti. Some devotees also employ Ashtanga Yoga process to attain Vaikuntha. It is a process of giving the body quickly.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Even there is one practical Ashtanga. If your body cooperates, you can perform Ashtanga Yoga. If the body does not cooperate, for the Vanaprastha 7th canto we were discussing in the evening hours, Saturday evenings, they need to lie down. Jab body becomes old and invalid and there is a lot of diseases, they simply have to lie down. Close eyes, close mouth, close ears. That means in the forest there are so many things might be going on. You should not listen. If we listen, we respond. If you don't listen, you will not respond. No listening, no eating, no smelling, and no seeing. Just lie down. Hands and legs, everything like put together close like a mortal dead body. Even though life is there, but mortal dead body. Only one thing one is allowed to do is breathing. Just breathe, 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 breathe until you leave the body. That is another way giving of the body for a Vanaprastha. If body is cooperative, they have 3 options after Vanaprastha. If body is cooperative, take sannyasa. If body is not cooperative, follow Ashtanga Yoga, give up the mortal body and attain liberation. If that is also not, even the body is not cooperative to practice Ashtanga Yoga also, Ashtanga Yoga means you have to stand or sit. If you can't even stand, if you can't even sit, then just lie down, close your eyes, close your ears, and simply breathe and meditate upon the Supreme Lord in the core of the heart. That is another process of giving up the body. One can do all these things if only if they are eager to go back to Godhead. Hare Krishna. Otherwise, one can
Hare
wait for
Krishna,
natural death.
Prabhu.
One second. Our fourth option is wait for natural death. अपने आप आएगा तब तक भक्ति करते रहो. So like that. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam.
हाँ, Hare Krishna.
And this, Prabhuji, आवाज आ रहा है?
हाँ, yes, please go ahead.
Yes, Prabhuji, I wanted to understand कि Prthu Maharaj तो he was Supreme Personality of Godhead, simply. Then how to understand that he is like he want to go, he is so eager to go back and he is doing so much austerities, and like how to understand this thing?
Same. Even Bhagavatam also says that he is Shakti Avesh Avatar. He is Lord's expansion only, but he is considered to be Shakti Avesh Avatar. He is endowed with Palana Shakti. Shakti Avesh means though Lord's empowerment is there, though he is non-different from the Lord, but he is also a Jiva. Even though he was a Jiva, but he need to establish a right example to the world. So he is practicing sadhana from that point of view. So like that.
Okay, means who are
Hmm.
Shakti Avesh avatars? They are Jiva also, right, Prabhuji?
No, they are jiva only, but specially empowered by the Lord to do particular
Hmm.
task,
Hmm.
like Lord
Okay.
Parshuram, Lord Vyasadeva,
Hmm.
Narada Muni, four Kumaras, Prthu Maharaj, Shesha. Not the
Hmm.
Shesha of Lord Vishnu, but the Shesha who is holding the Bhumandala. These are all Shakti
Oh,
Avashavataras.
okay.
To do a particular seva. Narada Muni to preach Bhakti, Kumaras to preach Jnana and Ashtanga Yoga, Parshuram to destroy the evil kings, Vyasadeva to compile all the Vedic literatures. Something. These are all Shakti Avashavataras.
Hmm.
Hmm. But
Okay.
devotees never treat them as jivas. Even though they are Shakti Avashavataras, devotees worship them as good as Vishnu Tattva only completely. That way we get benefited.
Yes, got it, Prabhuji.
On their own, they treat themselves as a normal sadhana jiva. But we should treat them as Bhagavan.
Yes.
So like
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. I understood.
okay.
Hare Krishna,
We'll go.
Prabhuji.
Yes.
Prabhuji, one more question.
Hmm.
प्रभु जी आपने कहा कि जो भागवतम में हमने मान लिया और एक्चुअल में यदुओं का कोई युद्ध नहीं हुआ था जो हम एपिसोड देखते हैं शाम का, तो हाउ वी कम टू नो कि ये क्योंकि शास्त्र में तो इवन भागवत में और कई और पुराणों में यही प्रमाण दिया गया है कि उनके बीच में युद्ध हुआ और वो सब भगवान के पार्षद थे, इसलिए वो भगवत धाम चले गए सब अलॉन्ग विद द लॉर्ड. तो हाउ वी देयर इज अ कंफ्यूजन हाउ वी कैन से दिस.
No confusion. That is to start Kali Yuga. Only Lord created a artificial war. It is not an actual war.
अच्छा.
Otherwise, why would Kali Yuga will begin? Of course, every
तो
Purana
एक्चुअल
talks
में
about
ऐसा
it.
कुछ
It
नहीं
is there in the
युद्ध
every
वगैरह कुछ नहीं
Purana.
हुआ था. नहीं, युद्ध वगैरह कुछ नहीं हुआ था. जस्ट हमारे आचार्य ने कहा और हमने एक्सेप्ट कर लिया लाइक दैट.
Yes. Pure devotees will never accept it that it happened. Others will accept and they keep commenting. देखो क्या devotees है बकवास, आप कुछ अपने हम मदिरा पीते, अपने आप को मारते, ऐसा कैसे, क्या भगवान है, अपना शरीर छोड़ जाते, ऐसा like that. एक तीर से घायल हो गया, मर गया, ऐसा बोलते. So like that.
तो मुझे ऐसे बहुत सारे एपिसोड हो गए ना भागवतम में जो हमारे आचार्य ने बताए और हमने एक्सेप्ट किए लाइक दिस. एक और थे
No, acharyas will tell what actually happened, what is why it is mentioned so in the scriptures also. They also tell both the things. So if we listen to acharyas properly, we understand properly. हम अपने आप ये कंक्लूजन पे आएगा तो हम we end up with wrong conclusion. But this may not be with each and every pastime. Only in concluding pastimes, Lord, it is like this. All other pastimes did not happen like that. All of them are okay. This is closing pastime, that is that to create to start Kali Yuga. So Lord did like that.
Okay.
And then don't have doubt on all other pastimes. I say to sub pastime illusion like that. No, not like that. Only the closing pastime Lord did like this. So that Kali Yuga will begin.
क्योंकि शास्त्रों में हमारे जो मींस नॉन डिवोटिव देखकर दे आर टेल कि भागवतम
शास्त्रों में रहेगा तो तभी आके एक्सेप्ट करेंगे ना लोग. शास्त्रों में नहीं रहेगा तो हम भी नहीं मानेंगे, कोई भी नहीं मानेगा. शास्त्रों में है, वो शास्त्र का आधार से वो बोलेंगे, तभी कलयुग का चालू होगा.
ओके. हाँ. तो वी कैन गिव आर्गुमेंट लाइक दिस कि शास्त्र में आचार्य ने बताया इसलिए है क्योंकि कोई लोग बोलते हैं आपका भगवत गीता और भागवतम इज अ मिथ. सो मेनी पीपल अराउंड अस दे आर सेड ये सब काल्पनिक बातें, ऐसा कभी रियल में होता नहीं है. So many people are telling like that. So how to counter that? That's why I'm asked this question.
See, for Bhagavad Gita thing, we have to say Shastra is saying so, it is there. But for this, even you cannot quote Shastra to a new people. New people will not say, Abhi, then they will say, if this is illusion, everything else is illusion. So this argument is not for everyone. For people at the beginning level, we may say, yes, it happened like that, it can happen, what can be done, it has to happen, it happened. But among the devotee circle, we understand, we take it reference from Acharya's commentary, and then we'll understand how exactly it happened, why it happened, so what is the reason behind. These are all tattvas. They can be discussed and understood as one progress further. They are not meant for discussing with the everyone, general people.
Okay.
So we need to understand what to discuss where and when.
Okay, thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Another
Yes.
this thing for creating that Yadava war is that all are that expansions of Devatas, no? Then they have to go back to their positions.
Okay.
For that, Krishna created the war and everybody destroyed themselves.
नो, वार के बिना भी जा सकते हैं ना. वार का आवश्यकता क्या है? वो आया, मदद किया, चले जाएगा. कोई गेस्ट घर पे आएंगे, 2 दिन घर पे रहेंगे, बाद में बाय बाय बोल के चले जाएंगे. उसके लिए युद्ध क्यों जरूरत है?
Then another reason is given that Yadavas should not be proud that they are in that Varshni, that Krishna's. That is why they were destroyed. Like that also in one lecture I had.
That is all. अभी वो प्राइड नहीं तो और क्या प्राइड रहेगा? भक्तों का भक्त होने का प्राइड होना चाहिए. उसके बिना क्या रहेगा?
Real ego.
See, it depends. See, to whom we are speaking, accordingly it varies.
Acha.
Yeah. Yes, if we are speaking to new people, all these things will be required. All these things we need to explain. Even if devotee becomes proud, there is a chance of their going through this kind of destruction. That is to draw a lesson at the beginning level. Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji.
I am not denying it, but in the ultimate sense, what happened? The devotees in their inner circle they discuss. So like that.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Chinnayadiradigataatmagatirnirihas.
Chinnanyadiradigataatmagatirnihas.
Tattajyechinadidam vayunena yena.
Tattajyechinadidam vayunena yena.
Tavanna yogagatiberyatirapramatto.
Tavanna yogagatiberyyatir apramatto.
Yavat gadagrajakata suratim na kuryat.
Yavat gadagrajakata suratim na kuryat. When he became completely free from the conception of bodily life, Maharaj Prthu realized Lord Krishna sitting in everyone's heart as a Paramatma. Being thus able to get all instructions from him, he gave up all other practices of yoga and jnana. He was not even interested in the perfection of yoga and jnana systems, for he thoroughly realized that devotional service to Krishna is the ultimate goal of life, and that unless the yogis and jnanis become attracted to Krishna Katha narrations about Krishna, their illusions concerning existence can never be dispelled.
Having destroyed the concept of being his body, having realizing the form of Paramatma, and being without desire for siddhis, Prthu destroyed his subtle body by jnana and then rejected that jnana. So, Prthu Maharaj is trying to employ jnana and yoga not to go along with them. He is using them as tools to go back to Godhead quickly. As long as the subtle body is there, we cannot go back to Godhead. In order to get rid of the attachment to subtle body, he is utilizing this Brahma Vidya as well as Vairagya. As long as one does not have attraction for the topics of the Supreme Lord, the Jnani will be attached to Yoga Siddhis and liberation. भगवान के प्रति आकर्षण नहीं रहेगा, भगवान का सेवा करने का, भगवान का लीलाओं को श्रवण कीर्तन स्मरण करने का आकर्षण नहीं रहेगा, तब तक people will be attracted to Brahma Sayujya, impersonal liberation. Otherwise, they will be attracted by Ashtasiddhis. Those who want to continue in the material world, they are attracted by Ashtasiddhis, and those who want to attain liberation, they are attracted by Sayujya Mukti. But only those devotees who are interested in serving the Lord in person, they are not at all distracted by Ashtasiddhis or impersonal liberation. Same way, Prthu Maharaj is, in spite of practice taking the help of Jnana and Vairagya, He is not at all distracted by Brahma Sahajya and Ashtasiddhis. Even though they are standing in front of him, we are eager to serve you, my dear sir. Please accept us. We are your dasis. We are servants. He says, "Abhi chhod do, mujhe chhod do. Aap mujhe zarurat nahi." So he practiced. He took the help of Brahma Vidya and Vairagya only until he gave up his subtle body. Once he gave up his subtle body, उन्होंने ब्रह्म विद्या और वैराग्य को भी बाय बाय बोल दिया. अभी आपसे कुछ काम नहीं. थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर हेल्पिंग मी टिल नाउ. यू कैन गो बैक. किसी और के पास जाओ. So then, meditating on the Lord's pastime, he will go back to Vaikuntha. That is the way Prthu Maharaj will give up his body. He destroyed the concept of being the body. He realized the form of Paramatma. He had no desire for Ashtasiddhis. How could he give up all desires since he accepted the process of Vidya? आप तो अभी तक ब्रह्म विद्या को स्वीकार किया, अभी उसको कैसे जो छोड़ देंगे? The reason is he accepted jnana, and by that he destroyed the subtle body, and then he rejected the jnana. That actually he was without desire. The meaning is this: there are two types of results from sadhaka शुद्ध भक्ति. शुद्ध भक्ति पालन करने से दो प्रकार का फल मिलेगा. One is the primary result is attaining prema bhakti, which are the devotees are always hankering for. The second results which come on their own, even though the devotee is never looking for them, but they come on their own. What are they? The unsought result is jnana, siddhis, and other things. Jnana means Brahma Sayujya. Sayujya Mukti will come on its own. Those who are practicing Bhakti Sayujya Mukti will come and stand in front of them. My dear sir, I am ready to give you, serve you. The Sayujya Mukti is ready to serve the devotee. And Ashtasiddhis. And also the material, name, fame, entry into Swarga, entry into even Brahmaloka also. All these things are eagerly waiting to serve such a devotee. Because devotee want to go to Vaikuntha, but before Vaikuntha, whatever is there, they are all eager to serve him. This is a test, final test. When they come and they want to serve us, are we attracted by them and accept them, or respectfully denying them and going to spiritual world? That shows our determination to go to spiritual world. आपको एक कहानी है ना नारद मुनि का. Once Narada Muni, looking at the miserable condition of all the living entities, immediately goes to Vaikuntha and complains to Lord Vishnu. भगवान ये क्या चल रहा है? देखो भौतिक जगत में everyone is suffering. Why don't you bring them to Vaikuntha? Let them all have Vaikuntha enjoyment. Let them have Vaikuntha happiness eternally. So Lord Vishnu says, I am always eager to accept them, but they are not coming. What will I do? Then Narada Muni says, no, they are so much misery. They are in so much misery. They are praying for the freedom from misery. So Lord Vishnu says, please go and bring them. You bring as many people as you can bring all of them. I am eager to accept them in Vaikuntha. So Narada Muni very happily goes to material world and tells everyone, please let us go to Vaikuntha. They start asking, what is Vaikuntha? Vaikuntha means the place where there is no misery, the place where there is no hunger, no thirst, no sleeplessness. So no difficulties. Oh, ऐसा है क्या? हम आएंगे. So everyone followed after Narada Muni, and they started passing through Pitraloka, Bhuvarloka, Swargaloka, Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, Satyaloka. Because so many people are following after him, Narada Muni is standing in the front and he started singing the glories of the Lord. And while singing the glories of the Lord, he went into Tanmaya. He went into trance. So, and he eventually came to Vaikuntha. Then he said, please, these are the entry into Vaikuntha, the 7 entries of Vaikuntha. Please come in. The Vaikuntha is yours. You are freed from all the miseries. There is no sound. When he looked back, no one is there. Then Narada Muni came back. What happened? So he saw that the people are here, there, they stuck up only. On the way, some people saw the happiness in Bhuvarloka. They said, hey, अच्छा लग रहा है, वहां पे रुक गया. Some people stopped in Pitraloka. Some people stopped in Swargaloka. Some people stopped in Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, Satyaloka. उसके आगे कोई गया नहीं. तो उनको वही अच्छा लगा, उधर रुक गए. So that is what happens. Even though Lord Vishnu want to take us to spiritual world, Narada Muni or Narada Muni's representatives want to take us back to Godhead. But we are not eager to go to Godhead. We are only interested in the happiness that is available here in this material world. We want to create our Vaikuntha here only. But on the other hand, Prthu Maharaj, he is very eager to come back to Godhead. Whatever is required, I will be ready to do it. If I have to do intense tapasya, I am doing. If I have to take the help of jnana, I will do it. If I have to take the help of Ashtanga Yoga, I will do it. But my goal is to come back to Godhead as early as possible. I don't want to delay anymore. It is quite contrast to who we are, who is Prthu Maharaj. पूरा विपरीत दिशा में है. It is like that. So we are distracted by the secondary results. The Pitraloka happiness, Bhuvarloka happiness, Vargaloka happiness, Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapaloka, Satyaloka, Ashtasiddhis, even Saijya Mukti also. One may be distracted by Brahmananda. But only one who is not distracted by any of these things is qualified to go to Vaikuntha. Qualified to come back to Godhead. So it's like that. So eagerness is very much important. From Prthu Maharaj past time, we can understand this. Eagerness to come back to Godhead. And not only eagerness, but in order to go back to Godhead, whatever one has to do, one should be doing it very enthusiastically. Usaha Nishaya Dhairyat. Learned experts state that the mystic perfections of yoga are actually impediments. For one who is practicing the supreme yoga, that means Ananya Bhakti, who is absorbed in me, by having attained me, the siddhis are a simply waste of time. One may say, what is the harm? ले लो ना, वो अपने आप आया ले लो, प्रॉब्लम क्या? हेवनली हैप्पीनेस अपने आप आया ले लो, नेम फेम प्रेस्टेज अपने आप आया ले लो, फैसिलिटीज अपने आप आया ले लो, सब कुछ अपने आप आया. यू डिड नॉट आस्क फॉर, वो अपने आप आया ले लो, नहीं तो बुरा लगेगा उनको. So all these things will simply waste our time. Our entry into Vaikuntha will be simply delayed. One who want to go to spiritual world, one should not be after all these small things. So that is what we understand from Prthu Maharaj's past time. However, the ability to reject these secondary results depends on the strength of one's practice of Shuddha Bhakti. If we practice Shuddha Bhakti, we are not attracted by this impulse of Brahmananda, Ashtasiddhis, and the happiness of the heaven. As much as our bhakti is pure, our determination to go to spiritual world is also that strong. So Swami says, King Prthu did not have attraction to the secondary results because he was attracted to talks concerning the Lord Krishna. Because he was interested to go to Vaikuntha, he is not at all interested in other things. Other things may look very great in the eyes of the materialistic people, but he was not interested in them. He was simply interested in going to Vaikuntha as early as possible. That was his eagerness. That was his determination. So in that way. Seeing that one of the siddhis, dying at will, had arrived. So because he was so eager, out of the 8 siddhis, one siddhi is dying at will. अपने आप जब मृत्यु को पाना है तो मृत्यु को स्वीकार पा सकते, ऐसा एक सिद्धि है. So उसको ले लिया. King Prthu developed a desire to accept that, just as he had accepted Jnana till now, since he desired to go quickly to the side of the Supreme Lord. Being taught the method of leaving the body by that Siddhi, who was like an expert in karma rituals, King Prthu easily prepared to leave his body as by his will. This is described in next 6 verses. 12 to 18 talks about. So because so many siddhis came in front of him, they are eager to serve him. एक सिद्धि था हमारा शरीर को कैसे छोड़ना, षट चक्र योगा प्रोसेस. So उसको स्वीकार किया, उसका सहायता से Prthu Maharaj gave up this body and attained Vaikuntha. That will be explained in the next 6 verses. So like that. That means he is taking the help of Adhyatma Vidya and Siddhis only to come back to Godhead, not to express one's glories in this world. उतना इसका eagerness is so much that whichever is helping, he is taking the help of that to go back home, back to Godhead. So like that. एवं सवीर प्रवरः
एवं स वीरप्रवरः
संयोज्यात्मानमात्मनि
संयोज्यात्मानमात्मनि
ब्रह्मभूतो दृढं काले
ब्रह्मभूतो दृढं काले
तत्याजास्वं कलेवरम्.
तत्याज स्वं कलेवरम्. In due course of time, when Prthu Maharaj was to give up his body, he fixed his mind firmly upon the lotus feet of Krishna, and thus completely situated on the Brahma Bhuta platform, he gave up the material body.
The best of the heroes, Veera Pravara, joining his determined mind with a spiritual body and becoming purely spiritual, gave up his body at that time. Here, as of now, he has not given up the body. He gave up his identity with the body completely. शरीर में है, अभी भी जीवित है, but he is not identifying anymore with the body. Now he is self-realized. I am the Atma. I am the eternal servant of Paramatma. I have nothing to do with this body. That connection to the body subtly has given up. In due course of time, the next verses, he will give it up grossly also. That will be explained in the future. At least conceptually, he is no more identifying with this body. Currently, we say, those who have already taken breakfast, they will say they've already taken breakfast. Those who have not taken breakfast, they will say that I am feeling hungry, I am feeling thirsty, I am feeling sleepy, I am tired. But who is tired? Who is hungry? Who is thirsty? Not the Atma. It is the body which is going through hunger, thirst. It is the mind which is going to tiredness and laziness, boreness, etc. Because since we are identifying with the gross body and subtle body, whatever are the needs and requirements of the gross body and subtle body, we think that they are my needs and my requirements. So like that. Even though he's still in the body, he is no more identifying with that body. The future verse will talk about how he has given, how he achieved that, how he could do that. He was the best of the courageous, giving up the body at this time, becoming a pure spiritual form. Immediately let me go to Vaikuntha and serve the feet of the Supreme Lord. He has given up all attachment to the body because his eagerness to go to Vaikuntha and serve the Lord there is so strong. He does not want to be in this mortal world anymore. This was his great eagerness. Fixing his mind on his form as an associate of the Supreme Lord, becoming a pure spiritual form, he left his body. As of now, subtly left complete connection with the body. And grossly, he will do it in few more minutes. In the next 6 verses, we'll talk about how he achieved that. So, kaise ho gaya? That will be explained now. How he has given, subtly he has given up the connection to the body, but grossly also he will give up the body by taking the help of Shat Chakra Yoga. That is explained in the next verses. Sampedyapayum parshnibyam
Sampidyapaayam parshnibhyam
Vayum ustarayan chanai
Vayum utsarayanchanai
Nabhyam kotyashu avastapya
Nabhyam
Koshti
koshtateshu avasthapya
Hrud ura kanta shiran shirshni.
Rid ura kanta shirshani. When Maharaj Prthu practiced a particular yogic sitting posture, he blocked the doors of his anus with his ankles, pressed his right and left calves, and gradually raised his life air upward, passing it onto the circle of his navel, up to his heart and throat, and finally pushed it upward to the central position between two eyebrows.
Normally, any person at the time of death, they give up this body coming out of through one of these 9 holes in the body. Within our body, we have 9 holes. The 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nostrils, mouth, anus, and genital. So through one of these entries or accepting them as exit, the soul gives up the body for the people in general, especially those people who are very grossly ignorant, grossly sinful. They give up their body coming out of anus or genital because at the time of death, they will either pass stool or pass urine. Along with that urine, along with the stool, the soul and subtle body comes out of the gross body. This is for people who are grossly ignorant and grossly sinful. Other people who are little pious. So many times we may see that some people widely open their eyes and give up the body. That means the soul coming out of the eyes. Some people widely open their mouth and they give up the body. Some people will breathe heavily, a huge breath. Along with their breath, they come out. And some people widely open their ears and through ear they come out. So those people who are giving up their soul, giving up this body through the 7 gates in the face, in the mouth, in the head, we can say that okay, they are at least moderately good or they are pious. But who are grossly sinful, they generally give up their body through the lower 2 holes, genital or anus, along with the stool or urine. So like that. But a yogi who want to attain liberation, he should not leave the body through one of these 9 holes. उसको पूरा बंद करके ब्रह्मरंध्र, the top of the head, वहां से निकलना पड़ता है उनको. Then only one can give up this mortal world and enter into transcendence. So that is possible by the help of Shat Chakra Yoga process. So this is called as Muktasana. Sitting in a Muktasana because they are anyway is practicing Ashtanga Yoga. He is sitting on Muktasana, raising the prana from Muladhara Chakra all the way up to Swadhisthana and Anahata, Manipuraka, like that, Ajna Chakra. Then through Brahmaranda gives up the body. That is being indicated in this verse. See, pressing the anus and with the both ankles, he gradually led the air from the Muladhara Chakra to the Swadhisthana Chakra. Muladhara Chakra is down below, just behind our abdomen. So down below. So there the anus is there. With the ankles, both the legs of ankles, one need to close the holes of anus and then raise the Muladhara prana from the Muladhara Chakra to Swadhisthana Chakra, which is there in the abdomen. Then Manipura Chakra, which is in the navel. Then Ahanata Chakra, which is in the chest. Vishuddha Chakra, which is in the heart. And which is in the Kanta. Then Ajna Chakra, which is in the forehead. So like that, dhire dhire upar leke aana padega. So in that way, we'll see. The method of leaving the body appeared spontaneously because he has taken one of the help of one of the 8 Shaktis, giving the body immediately. So chalu ho gaya wo, apna kaam chalu kiya. The asana for leaving the body is called as Muktasana. So Muktasana is explained as pressing the fine passageway near the anus with the left ankle, with the right ankle pressing the left is called Muktasana. So basically closing the hole down below. So वहां से सोल नहीं निकलना चाहिए करके उसको दोनों को प्रेस करके क्लोज करना. That is called Muktasana. Then raising the prana from the Muladhara Chakra going upward. Leading the air from the Muladhara Chakra upward to Swadhisthana Chakra. One should fix it at the navel in the Manipuraka Chakra. So raise the Muladhara prana from Muladhara Chakra to Swadhisthana, from Swadhisthana to Manipuraka, and then at the Ahanata Chakra, which is in the heart. Ahanata in the heart of portion of the heart. And above that is Vishuddhi Chakra, which is below the throat, Kanta. Then one should fix the air between the eyebrows, Shirshni, at the Ajna Chakra. Like that, slowly one should raise the prana from Muladhara Chakra to Ajna Chakra, which is in the forehead. So then what? After bringing the prana from Muladhara to Ajna Chakra between the forehead, then what one should do? Ussarpayam sutam murni.
Utsarpayam dutam murni.
कर्मेणावेश्य निःस्पृहा
क्रमेणावेश्य निःस्पृहा
वायुं वायुं क्षितौ कायं
वायौ क्षितौ कायं
तेजसि अयुयुजत्
तेजस् अयुयुजत्. In this way, Prthu Maharaj gradually raised his air of life up to the hole in his skull, whereupon he lost all desire for material existence. Gradually, he merged his air of life with the totality of air, his body with the totality of earth, and the fire within his body with the totality of fire.
Prthu Maharaj gradually led the air to the Brahmarandra on the upper part of the head, and without desire merged the air in the body with the totality of air, and the earth and fire in his body with the totality of the earth and fire. So slowly, the prana has been raised from Muladhara chakra up to Ajna chakra, and then coming out of from Brahmarandra, the air which just came out of the body. He said, "Thank you very much for accompanying till now. You please join with your source air, the air which is in the outer world. उससे आप मिल जाओ. मैं अकेला जा रहा हूँ, आपको आने की जरूरत नहीं." Normally, when we die, the pranas accompany the soul while entering into the next body, because it is prana which sustains us, whether in this body or in the next body, even transmigration also. The pranas also accompany, the subtle body also accompany in the death. But now, in the process of liberation, neither the pranas nor the subtle body accompany the Jivatma. The Jivatma had to give them up, had to say bye bye to all of them, and the Jivatma alone has to go to the spiritual world. That's why he's telling to the prana, "Hey prana, thank you very much for accompanying till now. As soon as he comes out of the body, passing through the Brahmarandra, he says prana bye bye. आप आका जो वायु है ना पूरा आसमान में, उससे मिल जाओ. वो आपका निजी स्थान है, आप उधर ही जाओ, मेरे साथ आने की जरूरत नहीं." उनको छोड़ देते. Same way, just like he told to bye bye to prana, he will tell the same bye bye to all the 24 elements. सबको bye bye बोलने का. So bye bye बोलते समय जिन जिनको अपना अपना निजी स्रोत के साथ छोड़ देने का. अपना शरीर के अंदर जो पृथ्वी एलिमेंट है उसको बोल दिया आप बाहर पृथ्वी से जुड़ जाओ. अपना शरीर के अंदर जो भी अग्नि है उसको बोल दिया आप अग्नि से जुड़ जाओ. Basically expressing gratitude. Till now you have been serving me by being accompanying me. So now onwards, you please go back to your original source, the overall earth and the overall fire. You go. Thank you very much. You don't have to accompany me now. So like that. At the top of the head, he fixed the air at Brahmarandra. He then merged the air in the body, the prana, the breathing air, with the totality of air. So basically, abhi tak till now he was breathing. Now he stopped breathing, and he told that breathing air, "Abhi, okay, thank you very much for helping me, for accompanying me to all the while. Now you please join with your original air. You don't have to be with me." So usko bol diya. And he also merged other four elements: the earth, water, fire, and ether, with the totality of these elements. Because the earth is there outside also. So उससे हमारे शरीर के अंदर जो earth element है उनको बोल दिया आप जाके आपका original earth से मिल जाओ. वाटर को वाटर से मिल जाने के बोला, फायर को फायर से, आकाश को आकाश से. That is what he is kind of expressing his gratitude and telling them and sending them off, seeing them off. I am going alone and none of you need to accompany me. आप आपका original घर पे चले जाओ. So like that. It means he left behind the grass body made up of the 5 grass elements. So slowly, one by one element, one by one, all the 24 elements and pranas, you need to say goodbye. First he said goodbye to pranavayu, next to the earth element, next to the fire. The next verse will talk about other elements. Kani akashe dravam toye खानि आकाशे द्रवन्तो ये
खानि आकाशे द्रवन्तो ये
यथा स्थानं विभागशः
यथा स्थानं विभागशः
क्षितिम् अम्बसि तत्तेजसि
क्षितिम् अम्भसि तत्तेजस्ये
अदो वायुर्नभस्यमुम्
अधो वायुः न पश्यम्. In this way, according to the different positions of the various parts of body, Prthu Maharaj merged the wholes of his senses with the sky. His bodily liquids, such as blood and various secretions, with the totality of water, and he merged earth with water, then water with fire, fire with air, air with sky, and so on.
Yeah. He merged the ether in the body with the totality of ether, the water in the body with the totality of water, earth in the like that. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, all the five ho gaya. First, the earth in the body to the earth outside, the water in the body to the water outside, fire in the body to the fire outside, air in the body to the air outside, ether in the body to the ether outside. So first level अपने आप का स्रोत से जुड़ जाने के लिए बोल दिया. Second level, every element also obtained from their superior element. Like in the process of creation, first from Mahavishnu appeared Prakriti, from Prakriti appeared Mahatattva, from Mahatattva appeared Sutatattva, from Sutatattva appeared Ahankara, from Ahankara appeared mind, intelligence, pranas, jnanendriyas, karmendriyas, and then there appeared sound, from sound appeared ether, from ether appeared touch, from touch appeared air, from air appeared farm, from farm appeared fire, from fire appeared taste, from taste appeared water, from water appeared smell, from smell appeared earth. Earth is the last element. So earth is the last element ना. So earth को अपना source से जुड़ दे दिया. He merged the earth into water because earth came from water. earth को बोल दिया वो earth आप आपका मास्टर के साथ जुड़ जाओ. एंड वाटर को अपना मास्टर फायर से जुड़ने के लिए बोला. फायर को अपने मास्टर एयर से जुड़ने के बोला. एयर को अपने मास्टर ईथर से जुड़ने के लिए बोला. एंड ईथर को अपने मास्टर अहंकार से जुड़ने के लिए बोल दिया. इट्स लाइक दैट because at least from his point of view, because all of you helped me in my body till now, so thank you very much. आप अपना अपना स्थान के पास जाओ. उसके बाद वो भी their existence is also not eternal because they also appeared from somebody else. So उनको भी बोल दिया आप आपका स्रोत के पास जाओ. वो उनका स्रोत, उनके स्रोत, उनका स्रोत, like that. For Prthu, none of the 24 elements should be existing anymore. He is not only winding up his own pastimes, he is also winding up the matter that was existing for him. उसका भी wind up कर रहे हैं. चलिए उनको भी request कर रहे हैं ऐसा. He's not doing annihilation, but he's requesting all of them to do like that. Same way, this is how for these 5 gross elements he did it. अपना शरीर से उनको बोल दिया बाय बाय बोल के आप आपका स्रोत पे जाओ, और उनको भी बोल रहे आप आपका स्रोत में जाओ. तो अर्थ को वाटर पे, वाटर को फायर से, फायर को एयर से, एयर को अहंकार से, एयर को ईथर से, ईथर को अहंकार से. Because all these elements came from ahankara, so finally all of you should go to ahankara. So like that. Because for him, as long as the element exists, he may think that I need to accept these elements, so I'll stay in the material body. So for you want to wind up even the metal existence also for the rest of eternity, from his point of view. So like that. So now this is for the Pancha Mahabhutas is over. Then we have senses, intelligence, mind, all these things are there. For them in the next verse, he says, उनको भी बोल दिया आप आपका आपका बंद कर दो, मेरे लिए आप मत एग्जिस्ट कर लो. So like that उनको he is telling. इंद्रियेषु मनस्तानि,
इंद्रियेषु मनोस्तानि,
तन्मात्रेषु यतोद्भवम्,
तन्मात्रेषु यथोद्भवम्,
भूतादि नामूनि उत्कृष्य,
भूतादीनामुनि उत्कर्ष्य,
महत्यात्मनि संददे।
महति आत्मनि सन्धते. Translation: He amalgamated the mind with the senses and the senses with the sense objects according to their respective position, and he also amalgamated the material ego with the total material energy, Mahat Tattva.
So, the previous two verses we have seen that he was telling, after coming out of the body, along with the pranas, raising the soul along with the prana from Mooladhara Chakra to Swadhisthana, Manipuraka, Ahanata, and finally Ajna Chakra, and then passing to Brahmarandra, he came out of the body, then immediately told Pranavayu, my dear sir, thank you very much for accompanying me and helping me all the while. So now please go back to air, the virginal airs, the cosmic airs. And then he told the earth element in the body, please आप भी the cosmic earth के पास जाओ. Water element to the cosmic water, fire element to cosmic fire, ether element to cosmic ether. So then he told that even though you may be merging in the cosmic elements, but still I don't want those cosmic elements existing for me. So the way they are created, please wind up in the opposite order, because the last element is created is earth. अभी अर्थ को बोल रहे you please enter back into your source water. Then he's telling, requesting water to enter back into his source fire. Then he's requesting fire to enter back into his source air. Then he's requesting air to enter back into his source ether. Then he's requesting ether to enter back into his source, that is ahankara. So यहाँ तक those elements which are produced from the tamasic ahankara are completed. Then sattvic ahankara and rajasic ahankara. So from sattvic ahankara comes mind. Then he says, please, O mind, kindly merge into the senses. Because though mind is superior to senses, but mind only functions with the senses. Mind is able to perform his activities only as long as the senses are there. Mind want to speak, so mouth is required to speak. Mind want to see, the eyes required to see. Mind want to smell, the nostril required to smell. Mind want to hear, the ears required to hear. Mind want to taste, the tongue required to taste. So mind is able to perform any activity only with the help of senses. So mind completely depends upon senses. So he's telling the mind, oh mind, please enter into the senses. वो आपका fulfill करने वाला, they are the source of your enjoyment. Please enter into the senses. So 5 jnanendriyas and 5 karmendriyas. Then the senses are completely depend upon tanmatras. When tanmatras are there, only senses can function. When there is something to see, we can see. When there is something to hear, we can hear. When there is something to eat, we can taste. Or when something to eat or drink, we can taste. Same way, when something to touch, we can touch. Because the senses also depend upon the tanmatras. So the senses are told that, oh senses, please enter into tanmatras. अभी मुझे आपसे कुछ काम नहीं, आपका स्रोत से, आप जिसके ऊपर डिपेंड करके अब तक कुछ कार्य कर रहे हैं, उसके बिना योर एग्जिस्टेंस हैज नो मीनिंग, प्लीज एंटर इनटू देम. So he requested mind to enter into senses, and now he is requesting senses to enter into tanmatras. Since tanmatras are produced from tamasic ahankara, he will request all the tanmatras to enter into ahankara. Just like Panchamahabhutas enter into ahankara, similarly he will say that, oh tanmatras, please enter into ahankara, because from ahankara comes sound. So sound को बोल दिया, please enter into ahankara. So now ahankara is only there. Neither mind is there, nor intelligence, nor senses, nor pranas, nor grass elements, nor tanmatra, none of them are there. Everything entered into ahankara. Then he requests ahankara, oh ahankara, please enter into mahatattva. Because you come from mahatattva, please enter into mahatattva. And then he will tell mahatattva, oh mahatattva, since you came from pradhana, you enter into pradhana or prakriti. That is your source. Oh, say up, जुड़ जाओ. So now, उस प्रधान के साथ Prthu will go to spiritual world. Because Pradhana appears from Mahavishnu. Pradhana is also eternal element. So Pradhana को महाविष्णु तक लेके जाके महाविष्णु के पास छोड़कर Prthu will go to spiritual world. जो 24 एलिमेंट्स उनके लिए सहायता कर रहे थे इतना समय तक, उन सबको इकट्ठा करके उनका ओरिजिनल सोर्स प्रधाना, वो प्रधाना को साथ में लेते हुए उसको महाविष्णु के पास छोड़कर पृथु विल गो टू वैकुंठा. This is how one's spiritual journey is explained as per yogic process. The Pandavas also did the same thing. In the first canto, 15th chapter, we'll see the same thing. Yudhishthira Maharaj also does same thing. Here, Prthu is doing same thing. Bhishma did same thing. So many times devotees will do like that. Other option is that you can leave the body naturally and so on accord, leaving behind the mortal body, and then spirit soul can go to spiritual. That is there. But otherwise, if one is so eager to go back to Godhead, this is one of the recommended method that one can go back to Godhead quickly. ऐसा करते हुए जाते समय सबको थैंक यू बोलने का और उनको अपना अपना ओरिजिनल श्रोता को पास छोड़कर जाने का. So like that. So this is the way he has done it. That's how, having said all these elements, bye, Prthu will take that Pradhana along with him, leave the Pradhana leave her at Mahavishnu, and then he will enter into Vaikuntha. That is explained in the 18th verse. Tam sarva guna vinyasam
तं सर्वगुणविन्यासं
जीवे मायामये न्यदत्
जीवे मायामये न्यदात्
तं चानुशयमात्मस्थं
चानुस्सयमात्मस्थम्
असौ अनुष्यति पुमान्
असा अनुसयी पुमान्
ज्ञानवैराग्यवीर्येण
ज्ञानवैराग्यवीर्येण
स्वरूपस्थो जहात् प्रभु.
रूपस्थो जहात् प्रभुः. Prthu Maharaj then offered the total designation of the living entity unto the supreme controller of illusory energy. Being released from all the designations by which that living entity became entrapped, he became free by knowledge and renunciation and by the spiritual force of his devotional service. In this way, being situated in his original constitutional position of Krishna consciousness, he gave up this body as a Prabhu or controller of the senses.
He requested Mahatattva to enter into Prakriti, which is the final covering on the Jiva. The Prakriti means the three modes of material nature. Prthu fully capable, the shelter of Prakriti, then gave up Prakriti, situated beside him by the power of Jnana and Vairagya, though he was already situated in a spiritual body. As soon as he came out of Brahmarandhara, he already attained a spiritual form. But the material body is also lying down. So you want to tell all the 24 elements bye-bye and telling them to requesting them to go to their respective sources. And having gone, all the elements are disintegrated, having gone into all these things, concepts, this is all happening conceptually only. Because his mortal body will remain there only. But his connection with the body is kind of giving up slowly. Then finally what remained is Mahatattva. He entered he requested Mahatattva to enter into Prakriti, the three modes. Then Prakriti alone is there. Then suddenly Vaikuntha Vimana comes. He sits in the Vaikuntha Vimana holding the Prakriti in his hand. And finally he will carefully take the Prakriti to Mahavishnu and he will hand over Prakriti to Mahavishnu and then he will go ahead in that Vimana to spiritual world. That is what happened. Swarupa Sta Jahat Prabhu. Because he is the master, he could do all these things, that's why he is called Prabhu. One who can control Prakriti means he is not listening to Prakriti. He is not forced to die. He is voluntarily giving up the body and is taking Prakriti in his hand and repositing it at Mahavishnu and then is entering into Mahavaikuntha. That's why he is called Prabhu. He has that ability. He could do it. That's why he is Prabhu. He is the master. He is not listening to Prakriti. Instead, he is making Prakriti listen to him. That's why finally it is said that then boarding a vehicle sent by the Lord, he went to Vaikuntha, the spiritual abode of the Supreme Lord. So he is capable of giving up all the 24 elements, Prakriti as well as the pranas. He is that ability, he has that ability. That's why he is called Prabhu. Unke liye Vaikuntha Vimana came and boarding that Vimana, depositing Prakriti at Mahavishnu, he entered into Paravyoma, the spiritual Vaikuntha where Lord Vishnu is there, where he want to serve Lord Vishnu, just like Mother Lakshmi is serving him. Now he has given up the body and body is lying down. That means at least virtually he has given up all the connection with the body and he did whatever is supposed to be done. सबको bye bye बोल के जो जिधर जाने उनको उधर पहुंचाते हुए he went to Vaikuntha. Hare Krishna. So this is how Prthu Maharaj went back to Godhead quickly. Few days he must have performed these Vanaprastha austerities and then immediately went back to Godhead. Otherwise, one need to practice all the austerities slowly for 12 years. It is a long time. He does not want to wait for 12 years. 1-2 weeks, that's all. Chalo. So like that. Hare Krishna, okay, you are able to follow?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Other devotees?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji.
This is how. This is also a recommended method by which one can give up the body. Even Sukadeva Goswami recommend this to Parikshit Maharaj in the second canto, second chapter. This is the way also one can give up. But this method is generally used for those who want to attain Brahma Sayujya. It can be used for attaining Vaikuntha also, but the Jnanis and Yogis mainly utilize this process. And more than that, now Prthu Maharaj is a person from Treta Yuga. Satya Yuga is the process of yoga is what is being followed by everyone. So Treta Yuga is next to Satya Yuga only. This method is very prevalent. That's why he was using it without any issue. But today, even though method is there, it is very difficult to follow for us. People like us is very difficult. हमारे पास उतना डिटैचमेंट नहीं. अभी एक दिन थोड़ा प्रसाद का टाइम 1 घंटा लेट होगा तो हम सहन नहीं करते. अभी महीनों तक पानी पीने के बिना कैसे रह पाएंगे? So our body cannot support this process of yoga. It is very difficult for us to practice. So what is recommended for us is till the last moment, waiting for the natural death, just continue to do bhakti, continue to preach. That is what is recommended for us. Continue to do seva. Whatever seva one can do, वो सेवा करते रहने का लास्ट मोमेंट तक. That is our bhakti. So like that. Now, so Prthu अपना शरीर को त्याग कर दिया, but Prthu के साथ his wife Arci also came to the forest. So what will happen to her? That will be explained in the next few verses. So Arci को क्या हुआ? 4 verses describe his wife Arci from the time he went to forest. फॉरेस्ट जब से फॉरेस्ट में गया तब से अर्ची क्या कर रहे थे, कैसे अपना जीवन जी रहे, उसके बारे में नाउ विल सी. अर्चिर्नाम महाराज्ञी
अर्चिर्नाम महाराज्ञी
तत्पत्नी अनुगतावनम
तत्पत्नी अनुगतां वनं
सुकुमारी अतदर्ह च
सुकुमारी अतदर्ह च
यत्पद्भ्यां स्पर्शनं भुवा
यत्पद्भ्यां स्पर्शनं भुवः. Translation: The queen, the wife of Prthu Maharaj, whose name was Arci, followed her husband into the forest. Since she was a queen, her body was very delicate. Although she did not deserve to live in the forest, she voluntarily touched her lotus feet to the ground.
The great queen Arci, his wife, whose feet should not touch the ground, and thus was not situated to austerity, followed him to the forest. It was not necessary for her to follow her husband. She could have stayed at home because she had children. But she voluntarily chose to go along with her husband. Voluntarily chose to follow the same austerity that her husband is following. Voluntarily desired to sleep on the barefoot, exposed to fire, cold, rains, eating kandamula, dry leaves, water, or breathe only. Just like whatever husband is doing, she want to do the same way. Because just like husband is eager to go to Vaikuntha, she is also eager to go to Vaikuntha. That's why she followed her husband and she came to all the way up to the forest. But in one sense, being a great princess, being the daughter of, whose daughter? No, she directly appeared, na? Being the expansion of Mother Lakshmi, she known to do all these things. In one sense, she does not deserve to do all these things. She was very delicate, very, but still, on bare foot, she went to forest and sleeping on the bare floor, all these things she was doing. Ativa Bhartur Dharma. Sorry. Ativa Bhartur Dharma Nishtaya.
Ativa Bhartu
Continue.
Vratadharma Nishtaya.
Susrushaya Charsha Deha Yatraya.
Shushrusaya Charsa Dehata Yatraya.
Na Vindatartim Parikarshitapi Chasa.
Navindatarhitartim Parikarshitapi cha.
Preyaskarasparshana Nirvriti.
Preyaskarasparsanamana. Although she was not accustomed to such difficulties, Queen Archie followed her husband in the regulative principles of living in the forest like great sages. She lay down on the ground and ate only fruits, flowers, and leaves, and because she was not fit for these activities, she became frail and thin. Yet, because of the pleasure she derived in serving her husband, she did not feel any difficulties.
So, just like Devahuti also served Kardama very diligently, very seriously, same way Archie is also serving Prthu Maharaj. Although she became thin, because eating only kandamula and dry leaves, water, कुछ खाने का ना thin तो आएंगे आराम से. She did not experience pain by living like a sage, serving with determination the vows of her intent husband, taking pleasure in his respect and touch of his hand. Because अपना पति के साथ थे, इसलिए she was comfortable, she was happy to do all these things. The vows consisted of sleeping on the earth as well as hearing and chanting. So she was doing whatever her husband is doing, she was simply follow in the same way. Living like a sage means living off forest roots. She was blissful by the respect he gave her and the touch of his hand while doing service. Because she followed him, he would respect her very greatly. So with that, she was very happy. She does not need anything more than that. Deham vipanna kila chetanadikam.
Deham vipanna khila chetanadikam.
Pratyu prithivya daitasya chatmanaha.
Patyo Prativyadaitasya Chatmanaha.
Alakshya kinchitcha vilapya sasati.
Alakshya Kinchicha Vilapya Sasati.
Chitam mataropayadadrisanuni.
Chitam Ataryo Atharopayad Adrisanuni. Translation. When Queen Archie saw that her husband, who had been so merciful to her and the earth, no longer showed symptoms of life, she lamented for a little while and then built a fiery pyre on top of the hill and placed the body of her husband on it.
Seeing that the body of her merciful husband, the master of the earth, was without life symptoms, finally she realized that her husband left the body. After lamenting a little, she placed it on a pyre on a summit of a hill. So, husband, by taking shelter of Shashakra Yoga, gave up his body. She realized, my husband is no more. She cried for it some time. Then she prepared, because no one is there in the forest, they are alone. So she herself prepared the funeral pyre. She kept her husband's body on top of that, and she herself doing all the final rites. Atmana Patyuhu means of her husband. He had been merciful, treating the earth as his daughter. She only lamented a little because she was anxious to finish the funeral rites. She did not cry for the whole day like we usually do. We see people around us. But she was just lamented because they came to die only into the forest. Dying, why they should cry when they die? But at least a little expression of sorrow. And then she prepared whatever need to be done. Finally, that she prepared. Vidaya Krutyam Haradani Jalapluta.
विधाय कृत्यं हृदिनी जलाप्लुता
तत्वोदकं भर्तुदारकर्मणः
दत्वोदकं भर्तृरुदारकर्मणः
नत्वा देवीस्तां त्रिदशं परित्या
नत्वा दिविस्तां त्रिदशां स्त्रिः परीत्या
विवेशवह्निं ध्यायति भर्तुपादौ
विवेशवह्निं ध्यायति भर्तृपादौ.
Prabhuji, you don't read. I will explain. So now,
Yes.
so she prepared final rites. Okay, for the final rites, she prepared the pyre, the wood. Then, performing the rites, taking bath in a lake, offering water to her husband of great fame, and offering respects to the 30 devatas. She circumambulated the pyre 3 times and entered the pyre while meditating on the feet of her husband. So what she did, she prepared funeral pyre, she got water, bathed her husband, kept her husband on top of the pyre, and chanted whatever mantras she could chant, worshipped the devatas, offered water to her husband and also her ancestors, husband's ancestors, and then she herself took the bath. She came and she put fire onto the fire, and then she sat in the middle of the fire, remember meditating on the husband. Sati. She's going to do Sati. So before that, she circumambulated the funeral pyre for 3 times. So these things we see generally whenever somebody leaves their body in our home. We do all these things. Everything is being done. So she lit the fire, but one thing is that she also enters into that fire. The devatas had come to see King Prthu, and she could see them in the sky. She went around the fire 3 times. She offered obeisance to all the devatas who came there because they came to see, so she welcomed, she received. So in that way, Divistam Tridasham are 12. Basically, 3 Dasham, 30. 3 Dasham means 30. There are actually 33 category of devatas. In Bhagavata, many times they take nearby round figure. 3 Jashapu Rakasha Pushpayate. Totally they are 33, but grammatical requirement they take round figure and say 30. So who are the 33 category of devatas? 12 Adityas, 8 Vasus, 11 Rudras, 2 Ashwinis. This is actually 33. So, but grammatical requirement they may take 30 sometimes. So in that way, but to those devatas who are there in the sky looking at all these things, she offered obeisances, circumambulated the fire 3 times, lit the fire, and then something wonderful happened. विलोक्यया विलोक्यानुगतां साध्वीं
विलोक्यानुगतां साध्वीं
पृतुं वीरवरं पतिं
ऋतुं वीरवरं पतिं
तुष्टुवुर्वरदा
तुष्टुर्वरदा देवैर्
देवपत्न्या सहर्षसा सहस्रशा.
देवपत्न्या सहस्रशः.
So she lit fire to the pyre, and then she entered into the pyre. She sat in the middle of the pyre at the feet of the Prthu Maharaj, and she was simply meditating upon Prthu. As a result of the fire, she also gave up her body. Because after husband leaves a body, how can she live alone in the forest? So she immediately entered into Sati. Along with her husband, she also gave up her body. So Prthu already boarded one aeroplane. When she entered into the funeral pyre, another aeroplane came. She attained spiritual form and entered into that second airplane. And Prthu was going ahead and Arci was going behind. Seeing especially Arci. So Prthu going to God, it is not a big thing. But Arci also going back to God along with Prthu is a wonderful thing. All the Devi Devatas are glorifying her. They are not glorifying Prthu, but they are glorifying Arci. Seeing her dedication, determination to go back to her Godhead along with her husband. Seeing her follow her husband Prthu, who was the best of warriors. Thousands of the wives of the Devatas, all the ladies in the Swargaloka, capable of giving all blessings, began praising her, as did the Devatas. The Devatas and Devis, all of them are glorifying Arci. They are not astonished Prthu going back to Godhead, but they are very much awestruck looking at Arci going back to Godhead. And they are all glorifying Arci. Because Arci herself could have stayed in the palace in the midst of all the opulences. She don't have to come to forest, but she came to the forest, followed every austerity that husband performed. When husband died, she did not simply crying. Instead, she prepared herself all the final right things. She lit fire, entered into that fire, and gave up her body and entered going into spiritual world. That was wonderful thing. That's why everyone is glorifying Arci. कुरुवत्या कुसुमासारम्
कुर्वत्य कुसुमासारम्
तस्मिन् मन्दरसानुनि
तस्मिन् मन्दरसानुनि
नन्दस्तु अमरतुर्येषु
नादत्वमरातुर्येषु
गृह्णन्ति स्म परस्परम्.
गृह्णन्ति स्म परस्परम्.
While drums of the Devatas sounded, the Gandharvas are singing and Apsaras are dancing and the Devatas are playing the instruments, and the wives of the Devatas showered flowers from the peaks of Mandara mountain. The Devatas spoke among themselves. अपने आप आपस में बात कर रहे. क्या बात कर रहे? देव्या ऊचुहु.
देव्या ऊचुः
अहो इहं वधूर्धन्या
अहो इयं वधूर्धन्या
या चैवं भूभुजं पतिम्
या चैवं भूभुजं पतिं
सर्वात्मना पतिं भेजे
सर्वात्मना पतिं भेजे
यज्ञेशं श्रीर्वधूरिव.
यज्ञेशं श्रीर्वधूरिव.
The wives of the Devatas, the Devis are praising. These verses are spoken by the Devis. Oh, she is most fortunate. She worshipped her husband, the King of Kings, with her whole soul, whole life and soul, just as Mother Lakshmi worships Lord Vishnu. They are glorifying her, saying that, see, she served her husband, she followed her husband in all respects. Even in death, she followed her husband. She is serving her husband just like Mother Lakshmi serves Lord Vishnu. Thus, they are glorifying her Pativrata Dharma. Aisanunam Rajantyurdvam.
तैसानूनं व्रजत्यूर्त्वम्
Ano Vainyam Patim Sati.
अनुवैन्यं पतिं सति
Pashyatasmannatiyarchir.
पश्यतास्मान् अतीत्यार्चिर्
Durvibhavyena Karmana.
दुर्विभाव्येन कर्मणा.
That must be her traveling in the sky. See her following her husband Prthu. Archi has surpassed all of us in inconceivable actions. And we are also serving our husbands, but we are not sure we can do what she has done. She is following her husband. See, that is she only. That airplane is the one who is sitting in the airplane is must be Archi only, like that. They pointed at her with their fingers. There she goes up in the sky. Why look at the fire of those flying in the airplanes? The person shining must be higher. She is following King Pruthu. They saw King Pruthu in front and saw her following another vehicle. She has surpassed us. Though we are devatas, We have become situated at her feet. We are nowhere comparable to us. Though we are living in Swarga, we are Devatas, we can award all blessings. But she, following and serving her husband, immediately going to Vaikuntha. See how she is brightly shining like a fire. Like that they are saying. Tesam durapam kim tvanya
तेषां दुरापं किं त्वम् अन्यान्
martyanam bhagavat padam
मर्त्यानां भगवत्पदम्
bhuvi lokayusho yevai
भुवि लोकासु यो वै
naiskarmyam sadhayantyuta.
नैष्कर्म्यं साधयन्ति उत.
And these devis are chastising all of us. Just like Prthu was in Bhuloka and Prthu and Arci, they went to Vaikuntha. But all of us are still here only. We are not willing to go to Vaikuntha. So हमको डांट रहे वो. कैसे? What else is difficult to obtain for human being of short lifespan on earth who attains the abode of Lord Vishnu, which is free from all material actions and material reactions? वो बोल रहे हैं अभी a person like Pruthu can attain Vaikuntha means he could have attained anything in this world. He could have easily gone to Satyaloka, Brahmarloka, Janaloka and all. Oh, kuch. They are in comparison to going to Vaikuntha, they are nothing. Oh, easily hota tha. But he could go to Vaikuntha. Same way, every human being, even though they have small lifespan, who is born in the Bharata Varsha can go to spiritual world very easily, very quickly. But those who are not going back to Godhead are most lamentable people, the most pitiable people, in spite of having taken birth in Bharatavarsha. It's like that. We should become such humans if we can get such a good fortune. They are praying that if it is possible, let us get like the humans and we can attain Vaikuntha. Somebody may say, आप heaven से भी Vaikuntha attain कर सकते हैं, but they cannot. Their lifespan is fixed. They can't leave their body before that. Human beings are not in that particular this thing regime thing. Their lifespan for the देवता, their lifespan is for one manvantara. उसके पहले अपना शरीर नहीं छोड़ सकते, तब तक वो रहना पड़ेगा उनको. Just like human beings, at least our maximum lifespan कलयुग is 100 years. So before 100 years maybe 10 साल इधर उधर हम छोड़ सकते. So but devatas cannot do like that. And comparison to devatas, our lifespan is very small. 100 years is nothing in front of devatas one manvantara lifespan. That's why it is said short lifespan. What else such as Brahmaloka difficult to achieve for the persons like King Prthu and Arci, who certainly achieved Vaikuntha, Lord's abode, the very form of non-material action. For a person who attains Vaikuntha, other things are all nothing. That is possible for a person easily from Bhuloka, from Bharatavarsha, because their lifespan is small and quickly they can go to Vaikuntha. Prthu Maharaj देखो 12 साल का वानप्रस्थ duties he must have done 12 दिन में complete कर दिया. That possibility is here, but in Devaloka that is not possible. They have to live for the entire tenure. उसके बाद ही वैकुंठ जा सकते हैं, उसके पहले नहीं जा सकते. That is their rule.
Prabhuji, they can't do Ashtanga Yoga.
अभी कैसे आपका सेवा छोड़ के नहीं जा सकते. They have agreed to do that seva for one manvantara. They have to be. And at our place,
they are giving some responsibilities.
Even Prthu also did his responsibilities ना. वो करने के बाद वानप्रस्थ में गया. उसके बाद वो renunciate कर रहे.
Understood.
Here also they do duties, but here time span is small ना. For us 100 years, for Dwapara Yuga 1000 years, Prthu Treta Yuga, it may be like 10,000 years. Out of 10,000 years, he must have ruled for a few thousand years. Then he went to Vanaprastha, and then in Vanaprastha, you see, 12 years he is supposed to do, but he did 12 years tapasya in 12 days, and he went to Godhead. So like that. Savanchito batatmadruk.
Savanchito bata atmadruk.
Krichrena mahata bhuvi.
Krichrena mahata bhuvi.
Labdha pavargyam manushyam.
Labdha pavargyam manushyam.
Vishayeshu visajjate.
Vishayeshu visajjate. Having
with great difficulty attained a human form of life suitable for liberation. A person who becomes attached to sense enjoyments. That means a person who becomes attached to smartphone, laptop, and all other things. He is certainly cheated and killer of the self. Thus they lament for those who are not devotees. The devatas, all the devi devatas are crying for all of us. अभी देखो हम तो सर को नहीं छोड़ सकते, बट आप तो आपको रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ज्यादा है ही नहीं, आप भक्ति करके आप जल्दी वैकुंठ जा सकते हैं, फिर भी यू आर नॉट गोइंग. You are simply attached to material comforts and material name, fame, prestige, puja, la, pratishtha, kanaka, kamani, pratishtha, etc., etc. So they are lamenting. Even though if you want birth in Bhuloka, you will not get now. आपको already मिल गया, फिर भी you are wasting it. Which is a suitable boat to go to Vaikuntha. That's how they are lamenting for all of us who are not serious and sincere in our practice of bhakti. So this is how all the devis of Sargaloka and Borloka are glorifying Arci. They are not glorifying Prthu. Kindly understand. Arci. Because Prthu going to Godhead is okay, expected, that is natural. But Arci going is exceptional. That's why they are glorifying Arci. So in that way. Now, finally, what is their destiny? What destiny they obtained? Maitreya says. Maitreya Uvacha.
Maitreya Uvacha.
Suvatishu Amarashi Strishu.
Suvatishu Amara Strishu.
Pati Lokam Gatavadu.
Pati Lokam Gata Vadhu.
Yamva Atmavidam Druyo.
Yamba Atma Vidham Duryo.
Vainya Prapachyutashrayah.
Vainya Prapachyuta Shraya.
Maitreya said, while the women were glorifying her, Archi reached the planet where her husband had gone. Patilokam Gata Vaduhu. The Vadu means Archi. Patilokam. Wherever her husband went, where her husband went, because he was eager to serve Lord Vishnu, so he went to Vishnu Loka. So Archi also went to same place, Vishnu Loka. There, Prthu, the best of the knowers of the Lord, attained the shelter of the Supreme Lord. Will she go to the material Patiloka? The pious act of dying with her husband? No, not at all. King Prthu attained an abode worthy of the best knowers of the Atma. He did not attain a material abode. He did not attain merging in Brahman, but rather took shelter of the Lord. For King Prthu did not pray for Swarga or Apavarga. Normally, the Vedas say that when husband dies, husband is a pious person. If he dies, if the wife enters into sati, by the process of sati, the wife, even though husband is not qualified to go to Swarga, but the wife by sati can take her husband or herself, both can enter into Swarga Loka. That is the glory of entering sati. So normally, when the wife enters into sati, the both wife and husband will go to Swarga. That is normally understood. That's why it is said Patiloka. Patiloka means Pitruloka or Swargaloka. That is called Patiloka in general. But here the word Patiloka is used in the context of Prthu Maharaj is Prthu himself is going to Vaikuntha. Why would she will go to Swargaloka and take Prthu to Swargaloka? No. She also want to go to Patiloka wherever her husband went. So she went to, both of them went to Vaikuntha. That is understood. Sri Swami says, he has explained that King Prthu went to Vaikuntha. In the 23rd chapter, King Prthu, along with his wife, practices spiritual life daily and boarding an airplane goes to Vaikuntha. Those who are not devotees will more likely go to material Patiloka, that is Pitraloka or Sargaloka. Other Karma Yogis, when the husband dies, if the wife enters into sati, the both husband and wife will go to Sargaloka. But here in the current case, both Prthu and his wife went to Vaikuntha because that was the desire of Prthu Maharaj. He does not want to go to Swarga here, there, etc. So this is how the Prthu's pastime is completed. So Prthu, along with mothers Arci, both of them went to Vaikuntha, the abode of Lord Vishnu. All of you are able to follow? Any questions till now?
Prabhuji, in Devata Lokas, there are no Varnashram system, Prabhuji.
No. See, here Varnashram system is required for our spiritual progress and maintenance. In Devata Loka also a kind of system is there. We may call it as Varnashrama or not, but a kind of system is there. There are Devatas, there are Rishis, there are Gandharvas, Kinnaras, Kimpurusha, they also have Apsara, they also have servants, and everything is there. Here we may do agriculture, we may manage the country, and there also the Devatas are managing the entire universe. The management is there, the Brahmanas are teaching, others are serving all of them, Gandharvas are singing, and Apsaras are dancing, everything is there. Everything that is happening here, they are also happening there. But there, things will happen in a more sophisticated way. So, like that.
Okay.
Other devotees, anyone has any question?
No, Prabhuji.
Okay. The last few verses which talks about Falashruti. What is the result one will obtain or one can obtain by listening to this Pruthu's pastime? Ittam bhutanu bhavosau.
Ittam bhutanu bhavosau.
Pruthu sa bhagavattama.
Pruthu sa bhagavattama.
Kirtitam tasya charitam.
Kirtitam tasya charitam.
Uddama charitasya te.
Uttama charitasya te.
Kirtitam tasya charitam. Those who do kirtan of Pruthu's charitra. King Pruthu was the best of devotees and great authority as described. I have described to you the story of Pruthu of splendid character. As you requested, I spoke about him incomplete. Ya idam sumahat punyam.
Ya idam sumahat punyam.
Shraddhaya vahita patet.
Shraddhaya vahitah patet.
Shravayek shrunuyadvapi.
Shravayet shrunuyat vapi.
Sapruto padavim yad.
Sapruto padavim iyat.
The person who with faith and attention reads, makes other hear or hears this great pure story of Prthu will attain the award that Prthu attained. Sabse pehle, the most important result of listening to, speaking to, meditating upon Prthu's pastime is they will also attain Prthu's abode. What do you mean by it? That hearing, speaking, and meditating? That means when we hear about Prthu, when we speak about Prthu, when we meditate upon Prthu, we should develop the desire that we should also practice like Prthu. When we practice like Prthu, we will also attain the same destiny of Prthu. Just by listening, it will not happen. When we listen, whatever subject we listen, we should follow that. If we don't follow, what is the use of listening something? So listening means following. It is unspoken, expected thing. So by listening Prthu, we follow in the footsteps of Prthu. As a result of that, we will go to the same abode which Prthu went. So that is understanding. That is the first result. This is the highest result. But before that, there are so many other second results also will come. So what are they? Brahmano Brahma Varchasvi.
Brahmano Brahma Varchasvi.
Rajanyo Jagati Pati.
Rajanyo Jagati Patihi.
Vishaya Patan Vitpatihi.
Vaishya Patan Vitpatihi.
Satchudra Sattamaya.
Shachudra Sattamatam Yat.
Tri Krutva Idamakarnya.
Prekrutva idamakarnya.
Naro Nari Atavadrita.
Naro nayata vadrita.
Apraja Suprajatamo.
Apraja suprajatamo.
Nirdano Dhanavattama.
Nirdano dhanavattama.
So what are the results? The Brahmana becomes most learned. The kings becomes leaders of the world. The merchants become masters of cows. The laborers become the best devotees. Vitpatihi means master of cows or master of other Vaishyas. Hearing this story 3 times with great attention, a man or woman without children becomes blessed with many good children, and the poor man becomes richest. These are all secondary benefits. Aspashta kirti suyasa
अस्पष्टकीर्ति सूयसा
मूर्खो भवति पंडितः
मूर्खो भवति पंडितः
इदं स्वस्त्यैनं पुंसाम्
इदं स्वस्त्यैनं पुंसाम्
अमङ्गल्या निवारणम्
अमङ्गल्या निवारणम्
धन्यं यशसमायुष्यम्
अन्यं यशस्यम् आयुष्यम्
स्वर्ग्यं कलिमलापहम्
स्वर्ग्यं कलिमलापहम्
धर्मार्थकाममोक्षाणां
धर्मार्थकाममोक्षाणां
सम्यक् सिद्धिम् अभीप्सुभिः
सम्यक् सिद्धिम् अभीप्सुभिः
श्रद्धयैतद् अनुश्राव्यम्
श्रद्धयैतद् अनुश्राव्यम्
चतुर्णां कारणं परम्
चतुर्णां कारणं परम्
A person with no reputation becomes famous. Akirti becomes kirtiman. A fool becomes learned. Murko bhavati pandita. This story brings auspiciousness and destroys inauspiciousness. Swastyayanam amangalya nivaranam. Those desiring perfection of wealth, fame, long life, swarga, destruction of Kali Yuga's influence, dharma, artha, kama, moksha, should hear with faith this story, which is the cause of 4 benedictions. Whatever one desire one has, all those desires will be fulfilled by hearing this story of Prthu. सबको शिक्षा मिल जाएगा इसमें. So that is understanding. विजयाभिमुखो राजा
विजयाभिमुखो राजा
श्रुत्वैतदभियाति यान्
श्रुत्वैतद् अभियाति यान्
बलिं तस्मै हरत्यग्रे
बलिं तस्मै हरत्यग्रे
राजना पृतवे यथा
राजानः पृतवे यथा
मुक्तान्यसङ्गो भगवति
मुक्तान्यसङ्गो भगवत्यै
अमलां भक्तिं मुद्वहन्
कमलां भक्तिमुद्वहन्
वैन्यस्य चरितं पुण्यं
वैन्यस्य चरितं पुण्यं
शृणुयात् श्रावयेत् पठेत्.
शृणुयात् श्रावयेत् पठेत्.
Hearing this story, a king wanting victory set forth and attacks the enemy and attains victory. Other kings will offer him tribute just as they did to Prthu previously. One should hear, make others hear, and recite this pure story of Prthu while giving up all other results in order to cultivate pure bhakti to the Supreme Lord. So when we hear this and make others hear, we should cultivate that pure bhakti just like Prthu had. No interest in apavarga, swarga, maharloka, janaloka, no material, name, fame, etc. etc. Only going back to Godhead. That should be the outcome of hearing the story or speaking the story. Amalam bhakti means Shuddha bhakti. One should hear the story with faith, giving up all other results in order to possess Shuddha bhakti. That is the main result of this pastime. Vaichitraviryabihitam
वैचित्रवीर्याभिहितं
Mahan Mahatmya Sochakam
महान् माहात्म्यसूचकम्
Asmin Krutam Atimartyam
अस्मिन् कृतम् अतिमत्यम्
Partavim Gatimapnuyat
पार्थवीं गतिमाप्नुयात्
Anudinamidam Adarena Shrunvan
अनुदिनम् इदम् आदरेण शृण्वन्
Prutucharitam Shrunavan Vimukta Sangaha
ऋतुचरितं शृण्वन् विमुक्तसङ्गः
Bhagavati Bhayasindu Potapade
भगवती भवसिन्धुपोतपादे
Sachanipunan Labate Ratim Manushyaha
स च निपुणां labate ratim manushya.
Oh Vidura, I have explained this superhuman story indicating the greatness of the devotee. One should attain the destination of Prthu described in the story. Every devotee should make an endeavor to attain Vaikuntha. O son of Vichitra Virya. So Vichitra Virya's son was Pandu. Pandu's son is Arjuna. Arjuna's son is Abhimanyu. Abhimanyu's son is Parikshit Maharaj. So in that way, it's coming in the line of Vichitra Virya. In that way, it is said. O son of Vichitra Virya, I have explained the story of King Prthu, which indicates the greatness of the great devotees. One will attain the goal reached by King Prthu. Whoever hears or recites the story of King Prthu daily with respect, avoids material association, will attain Rati to the Supreme Lord. Just like Prthu had great attachment to Supreme Lord, everyone whoever hears this pastime should develop that Rati, whose feet are boat for crossing the ocean of material existence. Bhavasindhu Potapade. Only Lord desire to serve the Lord's lotus feet of Supreme Lord is the boat, suitable boat to take one across to across the ocean of the material existence and to the spiritual world. This is the final word of Maitreya Rishi. That means the desire that Pruthu cultivated, that he want to serve Lord Vishnu just like Mother Lakshmi is serving him, that desire will act like the boat that will take one across the ocean of material existence and takes one to the spiritual world. So like that. So this is how the subject matter of Pruthu is completed. Chapter 23 complete ho gaya. Hare Krishna. Any final questions?
No, Prabhuji. No.
Very
No,
tough thing. हम सब ने सुना था. सुना मतलब we should also develop the same desire. We should
Yes.
also become eager to go back, come back to God and serve the Lord in person, just like Pruthu and Mother Lakshmi are serving. Otherwise, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So thank you very much for joining for today's class. So next